So there's only been one measly $21 sale today in my eBay shop. So I'm gonna switch things around a little bit tonight, pack that order up right away, and then we'll head into the bedroom to, well, I should call it the photo booth, the photo studio, but it is actually a bedroom. I do all of my eBay work here in this apartment in my basement that the previous owner told us, like, she was very, very insistent that this was up to code, and it is so far away from code that there's no way we could ever rent it out. Let me show you how low the ceilings are. So here in Chicago, I believe you have to have a 7-foot tall ceiling in order for it to be up to code. So I'm 6'4", so I'm pretty tall, but I'm not that tall. But watch this. I can I can touch the ceiling without even really getting too far up on my tiptoes. So this ceiling is probably like what, 6'7", 6'6", maybe not even. I mean, this might only be, if I'm 6'4", this might be 6'4.5". Like, I'm really touching it, you know, with my head. Anyway, the point is, I'm gonna pack these orders up, this one order up, and then I'm gonna head over to what used to be a bedroom, still has a bed in there, secretly is a spare bedroom if we ever had any guests, but it's really supposed to be the photo studio. So I'm going to go in there and take some pictures of some items that have come in really last weekend. Today is Wednesday, so I'm catching up on everything that I bought at yard sales last weekend. So I'll be in there. We'll just do 3 or 4 items, and then we'll end this video and keep it a little bit short. So I guess that's it. Let's just get to work. Okay, right here on my workbench, I've got 3 packages that came today from the Home Depot, and they are shelving units. So when I got home from work, I just grabbed them off the porch and put them right here, but now I need this space cleared off. So I'm gonna grab these and bring them into the room where I think I'm gonna set them up. I know I've been needing more shelves, mostly for organizing empty boxes. This room is not supposed to be my room. This is supposed to be Jessica's ceramic studio, and you can see, maybe you can see, let's turn some lights on. This light probably give us some trouble. So this is her, this is some of her ceramic stuff. I've just kind of stacked it up neatly there, and then I'm gonna put some shelves in to store boxes and probably end up putting inventory in here too sometime in the future. But right now, I just need to get these boxes organized because there's a big pile of them right here. These are all boxes that are just sort of random size boxes that need to get organized. So I'm gonna try to get that pile cleared up, and I'm gonna do it with these shelving units for the time being. All of those boxes were in this, got another secret room here. This little room used to be, it's super dark, let me turn the light on. So yeah, this little room used to be a bathroom at one time, like 1900 or something like that. And you can see there was a sink here on the wall. The sink is gone, but the fixtures are still there. There was a toilet over here, and then this little medicine cabinet. I'm trying to turn this room into a soundproof, kind of a bunker for our dog Pineapple, so that when the storms and the fireworks come, we can stash him away in there and maybe hang out with him down there a little bit. So I'm gonna be doing some work. Oh, got a phone call. I'll be right back. Okay, that's Jessica on the way home. She'll see this video where I am taking over her space, and she's gonna be mad about it. So apologize, but I gotta do it. All right, this last box will go in here, and then we're gonna pack a hat. Let's turn the lights off. Okay, it's gonna be dark for a second. Don't get scared. It is scary down here. The other night, what day was this? Monday night, I was home alone with Pineapple, my puppy, and there was a loud noise in the kitchen that scared me and scared him. He jumped up and was pointing towards the kitchen like a Irish setter or whatever, and I thought somebody came in the house, and I'm trying to figure out, what am I going to fight this person with who snuck in my house? And then like 2 seconds later, we're both still on edge. This thunder came, a storm started, and thunder rolled across, and I thought it was the sound of a person's feet on the upstairs apartment, but I quickly realized it was thunder, which was even worse because then we got to deal with Pineapple freaking out with thunder. Okay, this hat, Mobile One Racing, I got this from a garage sale, I think 2 weeks ago. Let's see, did I even put it in my spreadsheet yet? No, I'll have to put that in there before we're done, because I'm going to show you exactly how much money we made on that hat, which is going to be, I'm going to say right now, $14.50. That's my guess. I paid $1 or $2 for it, and I sold it for 21. You can see it's brand new, still has this cardboard stiffener in there. It's never been worn. I got another hat at the same sale that's like much older, like a real vintage Cubs hat that was a little bit rough condition, but I cleaned it up and it looks pretty nice. And I think I'll probably sell that one for like 40. I can't remember for sure what I have it listed at, but all right, let's quickly go to eBay. Let's find this hat and put it in the spreadsheet. Let's see, I got it for $2 on August 2nd. So today is the 13th. So it took about 11 days to sell, which is pretty good for me. I don't have a lot of like real quick turnaround stuff in my shop. I should be more cognizant of sell-through rates and making sure I'm buying stuff that will sell quickly, because I don't like holding on to things for 2 years, but I do it all the time. Okay, $21. I paid $2 for it. That's down to $19. The shipping I charged was $7.22. The eBay fees are right here, $4.36. So now we're at $21.86 profit. There was no promotional fee on this. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be about $4. I don't know where I'm shipping it to, but I'm gonna say it's like $4.50. So we should be at about, I don't know, $17 on this hat. Let's get it in here, seal it up, get some tape on it, tape it, and then we'll buy the label on the phone since there's only one item. Let's see, make sure the scale has a tear on it, good tear. It only weighs 7 ounces, and this box is 10 by 7 by 3. 7 by 3. So this box will cost $4.80. $4.80. Okay, so we're at $17.06 profit. That's pretty much exactly what I said, right? Did I say $17? That's Ground Advantage. I'm going to purchase this label. Sometimes this takes a little while. And then in this case, with this printer, for Bluetooth, you have to save the label and then open the printer's own printing app, which is a little bit cumbersome, but not too bad. This is a printer that I got for like, I don't know, $40 3 years ago. It's been working like a champ. Here it comes. There's that label. Let's get it on the box. Okay, so that's it for shipping. I think I'll just take that to work with me tomorrow rather than try to get my carrier to come out and buy and pick up any packages. So that's a pretty bad sales day. Only one sale for 17 bucks. I'm going to insert a function here and add up all of yesterday's sales. Well, I did it wrong. Insert function sum. It's probably a faster way to do this. Yesterday I made $47.27, which is also a bad day, but not as bad as $17. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that there will be some more sales tonight. It's only 9 o'clock right now, so it's not outside the realm of possibility that another sale will come in the next 3-5 hours. So hopefully another sale will come in, because I don't like making only $17. That really messes with my daily profit. It's dropping from 122 down to 112 average profit per day for the month of August. So yeah, we need more money coming in tonight. Okay, I'm gonna run to the bedroom, to the photo booth, and then I'm gonna show you a few things that are gonna be hitting my eBay shop in the next few days. All right, here we are. I'm setting this camera up the best of my ability to make it visible what I'm doing here. So right here I have a vintage battery charger, 12-volt battery charger. This is a Sears brand one, model number 608.71280. I don't know why they made those model numbers so complicated back then, but yeah, I picked this up from a garage sale for $5. These things typically sell pretty well, like at least 50. Let me check real quick to see what am I charging for this. I think it's 50. It could be 45. I've had good luck with them selling quickly. The only problem is I don't really have a good way to test these to see if they work. So if anybody knows a method of testing them, please tell me. Somewhere around this house I have a multimeter, and I thought that's surely the proper way to test it, but I don't really know that much about how a multimeter works. So if somebody could point me in the right direction, because I did sell one time and had to take a return on it because when the buyer got it, it did not work. And I just refunded him his money. I didn't test it. I didn't know for sure if it worked. I just kind of hoped that it did. These things are like, real workhorses. There's the chances of this being non-functioning are pretty slim because of how hardcore these things were made. It's got a nice set of alligator clamps or clips or whatever you call them. This one's missing the rubber, so I'll take a good picture of that to show that. Here's the part that plugs into the wall. What do you call it? I don't know what you call that. The plug? Anyway, this guy, I'd be surprised if this sat for more than 2 weeks before selling, because these things are, I don't know that you can really buy them. I don't know if you can buy one at all anymore, like a car battery charger. But if you want one, you probably want an old one when they were made to a different standard. This one, let's see, let's put some pictures on this is the app, the eBay app. I have the draft written up for this charger already and these other things. So I'm just going to add the photos and try to find, okay, $55 I'm charging for this. And I'm pretty sure I will get it. I'm going to find a location to store this after we're done with the photos. I don't want to be wasting your time while I'm running around. Okay, from the same yard sale, I got this little miniature set of Craftsman vintage metric wrenches. So there's 9 in here. I opened it up. I opened the package and I took them out and I counted them. There was only 8, and I was very disappointed. Here's a nice set of wrenches. I probably could just keep these for myself. I don't really have a good set of any size wrenches, but certainly not these small ones that probably have use for in my day-to-day life. But I could sell these for like $30 to $35, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna set up a little scene here. So anyway, I opened the package there and only 8 came out, and I was really disappointed. But then I realized that one of them had like turned sideways right along the angle of this metric logo, and so I couldn't see it in there, but it was there. All of them are here, all 9 of these, and they're kind of strange. They have it'll be like this one is 6, this one is 6 and 7 millimeters, then this one is 7 and 8 millimeters. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't just put 7 and 7 on one wrench. And then some of them skip some numbers. They didn't even make them. It feels weird to me, like a strange series of sizes. But in my little research, when I was trying to find other people who had sold these wrenches, I found the title that says Craftsman 9-piece combination ignition wrenches. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, ignition wrenches, but I assume it has something to do with automotive ignition. And so these sizes must be specific to the automotive industry for some purpose that I don't know about. So yeah, here's what it says. Metric combination ignition wrench set, super tough. 4 millimeter by 4.5 millimeter. And then they have 4.5 millimeter by 4 millimeter. So those are the same numbers, only reversed. So the whole thing is strange to me. I'm not sure what these wrenches are really for. And my only assumption is that it has something to do with a car ignition. I mean, what else would it be? What else would the word ignition be referring to? So in any event, I paid a single dollar for these at a yard sale, garage sale. I could have spent a lot more time there, and I probably should have. This sale had a lot of really good stuff, and they were selling it all for very low prices. Like it said all tools 50 cents. But really what happened there is I made a pile, and they just gave me a price that was much lower than it should have been based on the amount of stuff I had and and the prices that they were suggesting to me. So they told me everything that I got was $12, and I was like, well, I got this charger that was $5, and I got this set of silverware that was $5, so that's 10 right there. Now I've got 9 other items that has to be worth more than $2. So I put on my. This is how you know I didn't actually go to business school, because they offered it to me for 12 and I gave them 20. So, okay, anyway, that one's done. I'll find a place, just like the charger, I'll find a place to store these later. Okay, what do you want to see next? I don't really want to set up all this silverware, even though, well, we'll just do the silverware and then we'll be done, because I want to get these listed quicker than some of this other stuff, because this stuff should bring in a pretty good amount of money. This is a whole set. I think there's 91 pieces here, and they're kind of random pieces. There's some forks and then some shrimp forks. I'm not sure what these round spoons are. Are they for... Is this considered a soup spoon? I don't really know. Anyway, it's Edward Don and Company. These are from Korea. And this pattern, this really cool, like mid-century style pattern on the handles is called Don 7. Which I'm not sure why it's called that, but that's what it's called. And there's not many of these sold, and there are few sales that there's none listed at all. Which they look, I mean, this looks like a style that would be pretty common. Like they would have made millions of these in the 50s, maybe the 60s, maybe even into the 70s. I really don't know. But there's almost none listed in this pattern. There's a few that have sold, but only like 1 or 2 spoons or 1 or 2 forks or something. And I've got 91 pieces here. I'm not going to break it up. I'm just going to sell them all in one lot and see how we do. I don't know how I'm going to be able to set these all up, because there's like I said, 90 pieces. There's no way I can make this. There's no way I can fit all these in one picture and have it look cool. I mean, I might have to. I might have to just throw some together and not, Ferberize them, set them all up in a cool way. Oh, what should I do? Look at these big kind of serving spoons. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 of those. Maybe I should break these up and sell like 8, these 8 in one lot, but I prefer to just get this all done in one go. Let's see how much. I think I was going to try to get $3 per utensil, so that would be like 297 or something. 250. I dropped it. I decided to drop my wished for price down to 250. But I paid $5 for these. I'd be very, very happy to get $250 for them. But I'm still struggling with how to set them all up. Look at these long teaspoons with these long handles. These are cool. These look like they've never been really used. Some of them, like the black, they have like a enameled inlay in this pattern. Some of it, the black is a little bit washed out, but most of them are pretty good condition. All right, I'm gonna have to just throw these out in piles and then figure out how to take a picture of them, because there's no way in the world. I don't have a big enough space here to put all 91 pieces out like in an organized fashion. Okay, she's not lost. She's just at the grocery store. All right, how am I gonna do this? After I set these all up, I don't think I have much of a choice except to take them back up again and try to put them out like this. I'll set everything up in a cool fashion and do each of these piles individually after. But right now, I just need to get them together. So yeah, these forks, some of these I can see are pretty washed out. The black, like they don't even look like they have black in them at all. It's possible that they sold them like black ones and then ones that were just silver all the way through. But I think they probably, like this fork just got used more than this one. That's my guess. So here's some, I never really knew the difference between dinner forks and salad forks and all that kind of stuff, but here's some slightly different forks. There's these really small forks. I think they are kind of called shrimp forks. This cannot be, I can't see a use in a household for this many of these miniature forks. There's like probably 16 of them here. You know, what normal household needs that many of these tiny forks? Anyway, put them there. And then in my family, when I was growing up, we would have called these butter knives. I guess they could be also called table knives. And I just saw something that called them like straight knives, something like that. So I don't know what they're technically called, but I would call them butter knives. All right, they came in this vintage silverware tray. I'm just going to include that with them. And I mean, I don't have a use for it. I might as well just throw them in there and ship them all together with the tray and everything. All right, let's try to get a picture. I'm going to go up here where you can't see what I'm doing and just go straight down. I might have to move some of my supplies, and I might have to move this camera. Okay, this picture sucks. These have to come down here. That's better, I guess. I'm not making, I know there's like, you know, there's marketing photos and you want things to look the best they can, but I'm not making artwork. I'm not trying to be Ansel Adams here. I'm trying to just show these things off in the most realistic fashion. Okay, leave those. All right, this is actually a pretty boring video. I think I shouldn't have saved these. I shouldn't have decided to take photos of these right now. I should have done it on my own time, but let's see what we can do. One of my first big successes, I'm going to talk about this and I can't remember what it's called. I bought a bunch of silverware. This is probably 4 years ago when I was just like getting back into selling on eBay again. I used to do it like essentially full time. I did it in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Probably for 3 years I did it full time. But back then full time meant I was living at home with my parents and it didn't really matter how much money I made. So I wasn't making a huge amount back then. And the idea of like really like dedicating myself to it never crossed my mind. I doubt I could potentially make, you know, thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever. I see other people reporting their earnings. So anyway, I started back up again. I always had a little eBay account and I was earning some profits here and there along the way, you know, sell some comic books or something. But I never really did it too seriously until, well, I would say 4 years ago, I started back in on it. And one of the first things I bought that was a big hit, you know, a big money maker was some silverware. I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it, but they were gold. They were gold toned, and it was some kind of patented alloy that like two guys invented, and they made dinnerware with this alloy that it looked like gold, but it was as strong as stainless steel. That was the selling point anyway. And I took a long time polishing up all of this stuff, which probably I didn't need to do, but I did that. I polished them all and I sold them. I don't know, I can't remember if I had like 30 pieces of it, or I should try to remember the name. It was, in any event, I sold it for a couple $100, and it was like, you know, one of the first things I sold after I came back into eBay that was like, oh, you can make $300 by buying some junk at the thrift store. I could do this. I could get serious about this. And that's when I started taking it more seriously. So that would have been 3 or 4 years ago. Whoops, I took that photo and I didn't have all the spoons. I should have counted these as I went along so I could put in the listing exactly how many, but I don't even know what to call these. Like these, I guess, are serving spoons. Those would just be, those are teaspoons and soup spoons, I think. I don't know what do you call just a regular spoon that you eat cereal with? Which is going to be what I'm picking up next. So I'm putting these rubber bands back on to hold these together. I'll count them afterwards and put in the listing exactly how many of each of these. Maybe I won't. I mean, maybe I'll just put 91 pieces and then that'll be enough. All right, let's do these. Let's do these butter knives. It looks pretty cool to turn each one every other way. Makes this pattern even more impressive. This one just go that way and this one just go that way. Okay, that's all. So I think I can, I mean, I know I can do 24 photos on eBay. Right now I'm probably at 2, 4, 6, 9 or 12 maybe. So I might not be able to take 2 photos of each one of these setups. I'm not sure. I'm just going to do it anyway, and then if I have too many pictures at the end, I'll edit out the bad ones. I like these. I asked Jessica if she would want to keep these because we have forks and knives and stuff obviously, but we don't have, it's very often that all of the knives are in the dishwasher or all of the forks are in the dishwasher or whatever. And these could be pretty cool to keep, but I asked her, should we keep these? And she said, well, how much can you sell them for? And I said, I don't know, $250, I guess. And then she said, well, just sell them. You know, why do we need $250 worth of forks? So I guess she's right. I'd rather have $250 than a bunch of vintage forks. Okay, normal spoons. So what do you call these? Those other ones are soup spoons, I think. So I don't know what you call just a standard, normal, everyday spoon. I don't know what you call any of this stuff. I never understood the setup of like this many forks on the left, this many forks on the right. You know, I don't really get what the point of all that is. Etiquette. I guess I'm not the most couth. I wouldn't consider myself uncouth, but I'm not sure if I'm couth either. There's got to be a middle ground there. We're getting there. Got one more set of forks and then one set of those shrimp forks, and then we'll be all finished. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing. I guess you can. It's getting warm here. These lights, they don't put out that much heat, but when you're standing right next to them, they can feel pretty hot. So if you see any drops of sweat, because of these bright lights. Okay, rubber band. Let's get a band on this one. So yeah, this was the first thing at the sale that I asked, like how much do you want for that silverware? And they were like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I expected them to say at least $15, but really I thought it was going to be more than that. And then they said $5. And I said, well, I'll take them. You know, I didn't want to be like, are you sure? Which I have done that before when people have offered me a price that seemed lower than I expected. I have started to run my mouth off. Are you sure? That seems pretty cheap. But yeah, they said $5 and I said, well, okay, yeah, I'll take them. I try not to show how surprised I was at that price. And I mean, I'm basing it on nothing. Like I don't know, at this point I don't have any research done. I just see these forks. I can tell that they're like mid-century style. They look cool, and I'm sure they're worth more than $5. How much more? I don't know at that point. And even now, I'm putting a price of $250 on these, and a lot of it is just my gut because of how limited the comps are. Like I said, I couldn't find any that were currently listed. Some of these are slightly different from each other, so they might have been made different years or in different, I don't know if it would be called a forge where they make silverware. Okay, shrimp forks. Just do the same thing and get these shrimp forks done. Okay, we might skip through a little bit of this because there are a lot of these. Okay, this is a pretty good square for my square format photos. And that's it, we're done. So let me put these away. I'm gonna have to update the listing to at least say I'm including this vintage drawer tray, silverware tray. And if I feel like it, I will update it to say exactly how many of these different types of items are, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on descriptions. I'm working myself. I'm trying to convince myself to do this work faster. Like I could spend a lot of time researching and I would enjoy doing it. The Edward Don and Company stainless steel silverware corporation, and find out, you know, where they were based, what years they operated. I think they still exist, actually. Okay, so it's getting pretty warm down here. I think these lights are putting on more heat than I'm used to for whatever reason. So I'm getting overheated. The camera is getting overheated. This is the second time it's shut down during this recording. So I think that's time to call it a night. We got one package shipped and we got 3 items ready to list. That together, those should earn about, I don't know, $335. I think that's right. So yeah, stay tuned to see what happens tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll get a few more orders in on a Thursday. Maybe that'll be better than Wednesday. So thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow for sure. Yeah, that's it.